Well, hello. Welcome to the channel. I'm Jayanator, the host for reading Reddit stories. If you like this type of content, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It helps the channel a lot. Today we have a bit of a longer video that just gives you time to eat more snacks and relax. Well, grab your snacks and relax as I read Reddit stories that have the worst coworkers.
This story comes from Coworker Stories. My straight married manager hired his gay sugar baby. This is not ongoing and happened back in January of April of 2023. So I worked at Ghirardelli Hollywood as a chocolatier. And my manager, who was married with kids, hired this new gay guy, and we clicked and started hanging out outside of work and whatnot. It eventually got out that he was a sugar baby and the manager was paying for sex and just cashing him out in general. This sugar baby was sleeping with two other employees and dated one who is now a very close friend of mine. This man ended up being a meth head who will start coming to work high and acted high and looking extremely exhausted yet very awake. Turns out the sugar baby has HIV, and I found out before the manager, and he was furious and fired me. The manager put up a nice front but was collecting enough data on me to get me fired, but would change his sugar baby's time cards and buy him lunch and whatever. He would buy me lunch as well and let me come to private events that El Capitan had for premieres like Frozen 2, Avatar, and another one I attended. So yeah, Hollywood is crazy, and the building I worked at is shared with Jimmy Kimmel and is also a Freemason building. Maybe that's why it was so much going on. I don't know. What? That's it? That's the story? Oh, first it's a married man having, and the guy has HIV. Oh, poor lady. He's literally putting a danger to his wife. Bro, what the heck, man? LA is crazy, bro. What can I say? Let's just get to comments. I'm not gonna even. First comment: as a gay, trash comes in every flavor. Sorry about the trash you met. OP said, I have a lot of gay friends. LOL. I love them all except this guy mentioned in the story. One comment just says, meth, huh? Oh my god. OP responded, and coke. He told me he would be on Grindr for days hooking up and getting high. Oh. Yeah, when she mentioned the meth, I kind of was expecting the HIV. Drugs and unprotected sex goes hand in hand as the most dangerous thing you could do. Last comment here said, furious that the guy he was trucking was HIV positive. He should have been on PrEP anyway and should certainly have been using condoms if he was cheating on his wife. So who cares? Yeah, literally, like, bro, you're cheating on you. Like, come on. Well, that was this story. On to the next one. This story comes from r/coworker stories. Creepy older guy at work. I recently stopped talking to an older guy at work. He's basically the same age as my dad, because he made me super uncomfortable with the last conversation we had. He basically kept pestering to take me out to dinner and said would really like to invite me over to his place, but not sure how it might come across. Clearly, there is only one way it can come across. I just immediately blocked him and never spoke to him again at work. Turns out, he has a list of everyone in the store he's trying to sleep with, from managers to other associates, and I guess I was one of his victims. Other than him being a complete creep, I'm more so offended to the fact that he thinks he's my type and actually had a chance. No way in hell I'm wasting my good years on a sack of aged potatoes. Like, why, man? Why? You're at work. You're at work. I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. Personally, like, every time, like, when I think, I'm like, oh, there's been times I'm thinking, oh, how would I be at work? I'd be like, I'll be cool with everyone, just if someone don't like me, okay, whatever. We're at work, though, so we gotta get the job done. But to actively be like, hey, like, trying to sleep with me at work, like trying to flirt, like, dude, I don't get that. Like, that's just me. I don't understand. And aside from the fact that I'm in a very healthy relationship, I just can't imagine talking to a coworker like that, like in a very flirtatious, you know, just having more, just wanting to go on a date with someone, and even to the point you want to sleep with them. This guy's disgusting. First of all, he has a list. Hell no. I hope he got fired, or I hope this girl left. Like, jeez, man, that's so gross. I just don't understand. Like more, I see men more do this, like where they're always trying to, be with someone, trying to get in a relationship, and you don't need it. You just need to relax and let it come to you, whether it may come or not. You just need to relax. Let's read some comments. First comment: if he talks to you, just yell at full volume, "No, I will not sleep with you," so your coworkers and customers can hear it too. I agree. Second comment: report him to HR. He literally has a list of women he is planning on harassing. Yeah, like literally, like go to HR. If you know about the list, go to HR. What are you waiting for? Oh, okay. We got a response from OP in this next comment. First comment says, "Speaking as a sack of potatoes, can you go to your HR department?" OP says, "It's already in the works." Yes. Let's go. Good. We'll read this next comment that OP responded to, and then we'll move on. Comment says, "If you ask me, management has committed a colossal failure to all female workers who have had to endure this guy creeping on them. The first time he sexually harassed a woman, he needed to be gone. It's not ageist to fire someone who does this. Yet management keeps this guy on the schedule because he's harmless, right? He might lose his side money to supplement his social security. I'm not for telling someone to find a new job, but if they don't get rid of him, they are complicit in letting him make the workplace a hostile one." And OP responds, he comes off as slick cool so he's able to mask it, if that makes sense. And some other women on the job actually entertains him, so everyone just has different levels of tolerance. But to me, it's just disgustingly creepy. That's disgusting. Get him out of here, man. Oh, I hope this girl's okay. This was posted 13 days ago. Alright, next story. Alright, this next story comes from Coworker Stories. Am I weird for not liking one of the cooks I work with? I work at a restaurant, and despite this one cook that gives off a weird vibe, I heard stories about him that are not good at all. When he was in his late 20s, he's in his early 30s now. He was in a relationship with, He was in a relationship with the high schooler. I'm sorry, okay. Like she was 16 to 17. That relationship stopped because her dad found out and threatened him. Right now, he's in a relationship with a 20-year-old waitress, and I know it's none of my business. I know she's an adult, but he's been flirting with high schoolers for years now. I know damn well he doesn't have any attraction to women his own age. It's disgusting, and I just can't help but feel the need to show him that I don't like him. Oh no. Whenever he talks to me, I give him one-worded answers and make sure to not look at him at all. I don't say hi to him. I don't look at him. I hate this man so much, but I, unfortunately, have to see him every time I work. I'm sorry, but I needed to rant because every time I try to talk about how much I hate him to another coworker, they say, "No, he's so nice and helpful. Be so for real. He's a PDF file." They idolize him so much. It makes me sick to my stomach. Really? Y'all gonna say he's so nice and helpful? Yeah, he dated a teenager. Oh no. Oh no. That's that's disgusting. Ooh, I got angry. Man, that sucks. This is just wow. I have no words. I'm speechless. I have been. I don't think I mentioned. I've been able to get one job only, which sucks. But when I worked there, we did have like two older peeps. One was a manager, and then another one he was there for a while. He worked in the company for a while. They were awesome. I love that manager. He was the first manager I had there. And then the other old man, he was so nice, but he retired because he missed his family because he was from Mexico. and he went to visit them, and he missed them, and so he was like, "No, I'm gonna quit." They were nice. They were such like nice people, and it sucks because when I see stories like this, I'm like, damn, like what could you do? Like, I guess you could bring it up to the manager, be like, hey, he's making me uncomfortable. But the most the manager, if it's a good manager, the most they would do is just change your schedule, and that's it. They wouldn't really, unless it sucks because in these situations, he would have to physically like try doing something to you in order for them to do something. And even then, the manager and the higher ups will have to be good, just good to do that. And it's very disgusting that men like this get away with it. Like it's like what she said here. No, he's so nice and helpful. Are y'all dumb? Like, are y'all kidding me? I would not want to be friends with this man. And he's dating a 20-year-old. Like, again, okay, like, I get it. Again, like what this person said. She's an adult. She could do it. But like, does she not know that he dated six underage girls? Like, I feel like that's a very, like, if you see her, that's very important to tell her. Like, come on. You don't want to be with the freaking PDF file. Ah, so sad. Let's read some comments. First comment here. Yeah, that's a big thing I hated about restaurants. Seeing guys in their 30s flirt with high schoolers. It's sadly tolerated and common, at least at the flirting level. I never knew of anything going beyond that, but there were plenty of guys I had no respect for that seemed like I was one of very few who disapproved. Yeah, I agree. Again, I didn't meet this type of person, but I imagine there's like a lot of these type of men and just people who do this, and it's gross, really gross. Another comment: he needs to be on a watch list. Okay, I'll read this last comment here. Treating men like him like the pariahs they are is actually so important. Thank you for your service. For an added impact, don't tell as many people that you don't like him. Men like him will turn it around so you seem like the bad guy. Yo, yes, actually, that's so true. Like, even if you're, I don't remember. This is, yeah, it doesn't say what gender they are, but doesn't matter who you are. With these type of men, be like, oh yeah, like what's up? Like, we're coworkers, but never say you don't like them, cause these people, if they do one evil thing, you already know they're gonna do something evil, something more evil. Continuing the comment, it affects them way more if you're hateful to them, but super nice to everyone else, and they don't know why you hate them. Also, anyone who is like, OMG, he's so nice, cannot be trusted. Yup, I'm giving snaps to that. I don't do this, but I'm giving snaps to that. They have no principles. OP responds, I'm trying that tactic of only hating him and being nice to everyone else. I feel like I'm already doing that unconsciously. Thank goodness. And I tried to hate on as many men like him as I possibly can, healing the world by hating men along the way. And then Common responded again, I'm in my 30s. I can promise you and anyone reading this that the more critical you are of men, the better quality of men you find in your sphere. It's constant uphill work, but it gets easier the longer you do it. I'm gonna go off a little off of this, what this comment said. It's so true. Because sometimes you see and hear these stories about people, they're so like nice people who end up with bad friends and like just around bad people. And it's so it's such an interesting thing, because for me, I've always been specific with who I choose to be my friend. Always. Like right now, I have few friends, but they're good friends. I make sure they're good friends. When I see that, like what this comment said, be more critical of the more critical you are to men, and the better quality of men you find in your sphere. And that's such a true statement. It's like there's so many bad people. You don't want to completely put people off, but you also want to have this wall where you're like, oh, can I trust you, or can you be my friend? And it's such an interesting topic. I don't hope, but if there's a story that will be related to this, I would love to get more into this, because it's such an interesting topic. All right, well, this one was posted 28 days ago. If the original poster is listening, I hope you're safe, and I hope this guy is gonna get fired or something, because it's disgusting. All right, next story. This story comes from Am I the Jerk? Am I the jerk for not letting my coworker use my prepared work instead of making their own? At work, We each have our own responsibility, but sometimes there's overlap in the kind of work we do. Recently, I spent a good amount of time preparing something for a project. It wasn't just a quick task either. It took effort, revision, and a lot of attention to detail to get it right. I finished it ahead of the deadline and felt pretty good about it. A coworker of mine who was assigned a similar task came to me later and asked if they could just use my version instead of creating their own. At first, I thought they meant as a reference, but no. They meant actually using my work and submitting it as theirs, with minor adjustments. They said it would save them time and that it's basically the same thing anyways. I didn't feel comfortable with that, not because I don't want to help, but because it didn't feel right. I put in the time to do my part properly. They had the same amount of time to do theirs. I told them they could look at mine for guidance, but I wasn't okay with them copying or using it directly. They seemed a bit surprised. They said it's not a big deal and that we're on the same team, so it shouldn't matter. I get that mindset to a certain extent. But at the same time, there's a difference between collaboration and doing someone else's work for them. If something goes wrong, or if there are questions about the work, it's still tied back to me. Also, it just doesn't sit right with me to have someone else take credit for something I did. After I said no, things got a little awkward. They didn't argue much, but I could tell they weren't happy about it. Later, they made a comment about how I could have just helped them out since I already had something ready. That made me question things, because technically, it wouldn't have cost me anything to share it. But at the same time, it feels like one of those things that sounds small but isn't. If I say yes once, does it become expected next time? Does it blur the line between helping and being taken advantage of? From my perspective, offering guidance is helping. Handing over finished work is something else. But now I'm wondering if I came off as uncooperative. Am I the jerk? TLDR, a coworker asked to use my completed work instead of making their own, and I refused. Now they think I could have been more helpful. No, not the jerk. Not the jerk at all. That is laziness and a terrible coworker at its finest. If you're not gonna do the time, don't do the crime. I don't know. That was dumb. But yeah, if you're not gonna do the work, why are you there? I don't understand this lazy mindset. If you really want to do something, you gotta put your mind to it. Like, that's the most basic advice anyone could hear and you could get. Why are you gonna ask this person, hey, I know we had all this time to do it. Just let me use yours. Like, no, dude, it sounded like they had a lot of time to work on this project. There's no excuse for you to not do it. Unless you were, like, busy, but even then, you could have at least said something to her. Be like, hey, just be like, hey, I'm gonna be kind of busy. Can I get some reference? Anything. But taking the whole thing, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Let's read some comments. First comment here says, huge difference between use it as reference and just submit mine. Yep, agree. Another comment said, why are you both assigned almost the same task? Seems inefficient. Yeah, that is weird. Last comment I'm gonna read here. Some people are absolutely shameless. The worker was basically asking to steal your time and effort. If you had allowed it, the worker would have just relied on you to do any similar work in the future. Completed projects may end up being part of the way you are assessed for raises, seniority, future responsibilities, and potential promotion. Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of. I'm like, don't you want to show you could do the work in, like, I don't know what type of situation the work is, but I would rather want to be like, oh, look, this is what I did. I put hard time in it. Even if the person did it better than you, at least be like, oh, you know what? I did it. Did my best. You know what? I could learn from this. Just use it as a learning moment. Learn. All right. Next story.
This comes from Coworker Stories. My coworkers in my office don't like me, but I've decided to make peace with it. They stress me out so bad anytime I'm here. It feels like I'm thinking about something bad, but I've decided to not pay any mind to it anymore and just live my life like they don't exist. But this one thing showed me how they feel about me. I've been on casual leave for 2 weeks. It was actually meant to be for just 7 days, but when I was meant to resume, I got sick and wasn't able to come to work, so I got the information passed to the head of our office. He's the only guy in my office and he wished me a speedy recovery. I resumed work today, and when I came in, I got a very dry welcome. No how are you, or welcome back. Nothing. I don't expect people to roll on the floor and welcome me, but I kinda expected a bit of acknowledgement of some sort, but only the guy who I told I was sick said anything along the lines of welcoming me. I thought I was expecting a lot until another person from another office in the same department came in and told me welcome back. Another lady too from another office in the same department came in and said welcome back. Then I knew I wasn't expecting much. I was just expecting it from the wrong people. The gag is another of my colleagues came in after me and everyone else greeted her, asked her how she was. One of my colleagues even hugged her, and that particular babe I'm not very fond of because she just gives fake. I don't know, but whatever. I know myself and I know that this would make me stray further away from them because this singular action just shows that they don't F with me like that. And now that I know, I'll act accordingly and just accept my fate. I'll keep it very professional with them, no ill feelings, just super professional without any extra emotional investment. I don't know if I want to believe this person. I'm mainly saying that based on the way they text. First, they're like, they stress me out so bad anytime. Okay, give an example. Why don't you give examples? Yeah, she gives no examples. She's just like, oh, I've decided to not pay them any mind. And again, they could be treating her bad. That's true. But I'm like, are you telling us the truth? Cause this sounds like maybe they're just trying to have fun, or maybe they're doing a little too much, and she's just like, oh, I hate you. Or maybe she is rude to them, which in turn is like they don't care about her, they don't like her for whatever reason. But it is strange that people from a different department says hi to her, where no one in her department says hi. That is strange. That's where I'm like, I'm teetering on the line here. I don't know. Overall, just from the story, it does suck. It sucks. Now, when I was working at my job, I actually had the fear that no one liked me when I first started. And I kind of was trying to fake or trying to be like the good guy in a situation. Like, I'll give an example. It was a fast food place. We made our sauces in house, and one of the coworkers, he dropped a little of the sauce and made a little mess. And everyone was like, but I had like, they were laughing at him, joking around. But I didn't understand because I was new and I was scared. I was like, oh, I don't want to make fun of him. I don't want to like do that. And so I was like, oh, guys, just leave him alone, But then later on, like 6 months, not 6 months, like 4 months down, I'm like, if that happens again, I'm like, haha, you're an idiot. Like, you know what I mean? It's just one of those things where you're very scared. I don't know if this is the same thing, but I could kind of relate to being like, oh, I'm so stressed that, wow, I wonder if people are going to like me. Like, what if they don't? It is scary. I'll give her that. I hope that this person, if this is the true story, I hope that they're okay, But let's read some comments. Let's see what people are saying. First comment: that was the weird thing in my job. I was the one who tried to be friendly with the others, but no one made any effort. And they all seemed to be friends with each other, I guess. I don't know. I should have beat that into my head years ago. Work friends aren't friends. That, you know what? I've been, from the one job I had, I was so grateful that at least most of us, there was like a couple of us who did see each other as like friends. Now, obviously, if we still work there, I would be like, you know what? Okay, I'll see you as a friend, but I still see you as my coworker. So if there's any, like, ever gonna do anything, I would still be personally careful around them, because we work together. You don't want to ruin that. When we lost our jobs because the place closed down, We actually did hang out. We hung out for like 2 months until like eventually I think we were all like we wanted to have a little break. Until recently when we hung out again, it was like, yeah, you know what? I consider them my friends. Why not? Like, yeah, we're ex-coworkers, but you know what? We're still friends. So again, I've been blessed and grateful to have that. But you still, this is, I will tell this to anyone. You still doesn't matter if you're close friends with them or become friends. If you work with them, you still remember your coworkers. Always remember that. Always put them. Okay, he's a coworker first, because we work with each other. Unless where you genuinely have a friend with you that you've known for like years. Like I had that, but still, they're coworkers first, friends second. Especially if we just met them. Comment here. Gosh, I am happy when no one hugs me at work and just lets me go on with working. Honestly, I respect that. I'm like that too. I did have like I consider him a best friend because I've known him for over 10 years now. He's the only one I'd be like, oh yeah, what's up, bro? Like, we'd give a bro hug and stuff. But yeah, still, I don't want to come and be like, hey, what's up, and then give a hug. Unless it was for a birthday, that's different. And like we were close with each other. Another comment here. Office politics are dumb. I'm not going to say anything else. Yeah, fair enough. Ooh, another comment here that I agree with starting off. Your coworkers are not your friends, no matter where you go. Not everyone is going to like you. In fact, the majority in life won't. I mean no malice or disrespect in saying this, but the sooner you realize this, the happier you will be. Focus your social energy into the people that matter. Match your coworker energy toward you, and you'll have a far happier time. Oh, absolutely. When I was at the job, the moment I clocked in, work mode. You know, we could mess around, we could have a little fun, but work. That's the first thing on my mind. It's just so important, especially like growing up, cause sadly it took me a little while for my mind to mature. I don't know why. I can't really explain it, but it's so strange because when I was 20, for example, I just didn't take most things seriously, and it's so weird. And then when I was from 22 going to 23, it's like a shift. It's like, oh no, come on, you have to take this seriously. It's so weird. I don't know how to explain it. If you understand what I'm talking about, then please leave a comment. I'd love to see it. Okay, I'll read one more comment because this is a very interesting topic. Sometimes we have to be honest with ourselves though. I didn't realize how abrasive I was until my coworkers started acting differently. Another colleague poked me to the side and told me straight. I dialed it back and became more conscious of my actions. We were all cool after that. Maybe it's time to look within if it's a common occurrence with everyone on your team. If you aren't doing anything, then yeah, they just suck and F them. OP responded to this one. Honestly, I don't think I am problematic in any way. I'm just naturally more reserved. I don't really talk a lot, and I think some of them take it personally for some reason. They always want me talking and all those things, but I'm just not like that. I do talk to some of my coworkers who are somewhat cool, but even still, I guess people just think I'm a snob, whereas I'm just a socially awkward loner. That is true. It does kind of matter your energy. Luckily, the team I worked with, every time, we always had a good energy. Always had a good energy. Didn't matter like what it was, you know, we were still cool with each other. Obviously, there were days where it's like, oh, come on, dude, like we gotta do it. But, you know, everybody has their days. That doesn't really matter. Well, yeah. If you're, I always say this. If this person happens to watch this video, I hope you're okay. Maybe you become a little more talkative, because it does sound like it could be that they see you as, oh, she's the one that wants to be by herself. She doesn't want to talk to us. Like, no, that's not true. You're just not as social as you said. So I hope, you know, maybe you could try, you know, just change it a little bit. But if not, you know, it does suck that they're like not willing to even say hi to you or welcome you back or ask if you're okay. It sucks. It does suck. But I hope you're okay, and God bless. Let's get to the next story.
All right, this story is from r/work. Just confronted at work about having a VPN on my personal phone. Facing a weird situation today. I was forced to replace my personal phone this weekend after my previous one was broken on Friday. I take my phone to work and use it during breaks to surf Reddit and download books onto my Kindle app. To do this, me and all my colleagues use the company Wi-Fi as we have been told we're welcome to do. Now, I live in an HMO in the UK, so at home I have a shared Wi-Fi network. As a result, I pay for a personal VPN on my phone and computer. Today, I attempted to log into my Microsoft Authenticator as part of the two-factor to log into my work computer and was instantly locked out of everything. Several hours go by and I was confronted publicly in the break room about using a VPN while at work. One of these confronters made some not so subtle snide comments suggesting that I was using company Wi-Fi to look at not safe for work content and hiding behind a VPN, which is simply not true. I'm not sure what the issue is here. If I had used my own mobile data to access the Authenticator app with my VPN still on, there would still be an issue. My workplace does not provide me with the work phone, so the app has to go onto my personal phone or else I wouldn't be able to complete any work. I'm a grown adult paying my own money for the use of the VPN on my own phone, and I don't like being accused of doing something inappropriate with zero proof. Is there something I should be doing here? Because now I'm left feeling embarrassed and a little pissed off. I don't know. I don't know what to say for this. I don't know. I think we're just gonna go to the comments here. Hold on. No, that is ridiculous. Like, yeah, they're paying for the VPN. Why do you care? Why was this person locked out? They just said, oh, you're doing not safe for work stuff. We're gonna lock you out. Like, where's the proof? I would be like, where's the proof? Instantly, I'd be like, where's it? Like, tell me, and I'll own up. Let's get in the comments because this is dumb. First comment. It sounds like your workplace likes to monitor all online activity occurring while at work, which they can if you use their Wi-Fi and VPN, but can't if you use your own cellular data. In the future, for better privacy, I will download things while at home and stick to cellular data instead of connecting to their Wi-Fi. If you must go on Reddit during the workday, do it on your own cellular data. It doesn't use much data at all. Oh, another comment here. I hate companies that require you to put an app on your phone. I didn't even catch that. So yeah, they're just trying to monitor them. I would not have that. A lot of comments are just saying do not use their Wi-Fi and use your cellular data. They won't be monitoring what you search or do. I agree. There's nothing much else to this story. No updates. It was just posted 9 days ago, so there could be an update. But yeah, next story.
This comes from Coworker Stories. This has got to be one of the most petty things I have ever witnessed. At my work, insurance, our boss, who is the agent/owner, is running a promotion among the sales folks. 3 of my coworkers are in sales. If they write a certain amount of policies, they get to toss a ping pong ball into the cups. Yes, like beer pong. Underneath each cup is a sticker that is either orange, yellow, or red. Yellow equal lower end item, orange equal mid-range, red equals highest items. One of my coworkers got a red the other day. One of the prizes on the table that had a red sticker was a Stanley carrying bag. She picked that, took it home. Today, in a group text that I am part of for some reason, they told her to bring it back. Apparently that item was for whoever writes the most apps at the end of the contest. Obviously my coworker wasn't happy about that. It was with all the rest of the prizes. She took it home and now they are telling her she can't have it. Interestingly enough, one of our coworkers was out when she won this bag. No one had a problem with her winning the bag until this person came back to the office. Apparently she wanted it, as well as a blanket that is on that table. And she put them both under the table before she left. Sometime between them and before my coworker won it, the bag and the blanket were moved back to the top of the table as someone could vacuum. Both were there among all the other prizes when she picked it. Anyway, I believe the coworker that got the bag should be allowed to keep it. Making her bring it back is beyond petty at this point. She told me she is no longer going to participate in these contests because of how ridiculous they are. I told her I don't blame her. I was included in one once. I won an item and was told I took it from someone else who wanted it. Haven't really wanted to be involved in the contest since. I mean, all this fuss over material stuff? Let her keep the dang bag. Whoever else that wanted it can just go buy one. I won't participate in this BS either. Telling people they took what someone else wanted? All this fuss over stuff that can just be purchased if they want it that badly. The greed and pettiness is pathetic. That is so dumb. That's why, like, I agree. If someone was like, if I want something in this situation and someone was like, man, he took it away from John over there, I'd be like, so did you not want me to play? Like, what's wrong with you? I'm sorry. I'd be like, dude, what are you trying to say here? Like, you guys asked me to play and I'm playing, and now you're complaining? Like, okay, now I won't play again. It's ridiculous. And asking for it back, I'd be like, no, I won it fair and square. I don't think so. Just because you didn't win it doesn't mean I'm gonna give it back. That's ridiculous. All right, let's just read some comments. It says, this is a story. First comment: I'd have written my name on the bag with a Sharpie and then brought it back. Even better, mark it with stolen from coworker's name. All right, second comment here. Instead of boosting morale and rewarding their team, they are creating anger, frustration, and pettiness. This is so dumb, and no way should any of you be playing these unwinnable games. That is kind of true. Like, you're playing games where you have real life items that you could win. Who funded this? HR gonna have a field day if they find out what's going on. Third comment: what in the actual heck? So she's trying to claim prizes that she hasn't won yet? And somehow the boss is okay with that? That's not right. Whoever is in charge of this needs to tell her tough cookies. That's not how contests work. Literally, that's what I said. I'm not bringing it back if I want it. I'm sorry, that's mine. OP responded to this. It's beyond ridiculous. If I wanted something that bad, I would just buy it. It's a Stanley bag, not a new Porsche. Alright, well, little funny story. Pretty ridiculous if you ask me, but when that lady, I would have told her, hey, keep that purse. No, you want that purse. Like, I don't think so. You ain't gonna let these petty people get it from you. Next story. This story comes from Coworker Stories. Coworker won't send me files. How do I handle being blocked from doing my work? I've just started working at a small business, and I'm in a situation where I'm ready and willing to do my tasks, but I keep waiting on a coworker to send me files or information I need to process. They keep promising to send it, but it doesn't happen. My boss thinks the coworker is supporting me, but the delay is preventing me from contributing. I want to handle this professionally without blaming anyone or creating conflict. Has anyone been in a similar situation? How do you handle it when a coworker's inaction stops you from doing your job? Thanks in advance for any advice. Oh, that was a short one. Well, just tell your boss. I mean, like, what else are you gonna do? You don't want to blame anyone? How can you say that you're not getting the information that you need? It's the word. Okay. I'm getting angry for different reasons. If any of you are college students or just school students, you know, forced teamwork projects, oh Lord have mercy. Oh Lord. They are the worst. They shouldn't exist. I don't get why teachers still insist to do it to this day. That's what this reminds me of. I remember one time I was in a group that literally only me and one guy, no one communicated. I was the only one saying anything. And that was the only reason we passed, because I said something. And I didn't even do like attend for our quote unquote presentation we had to do, because we had to do it towards each other, and the professor wasn't even gonna check it, so I didn't even care, because I'm like, I did work, y'all do it. I didn't care. That's literally what this is. Like, honestly, just be honest to your manager, tell him what's up. I know it's not simple, but in if you think about it, it is simple. It's affecting your work. Any smart manager would understand. Alright, let's look at some comments. First comment here. Email the boss that you'll send them the completed task soon, but you're waiting on a delay on your coworker's end. Is there a way you can blind CC your boss the communication where the coworker is refusing to send stuff? OP responds, I told boss I didn't receive any task. I didn't mention a coworker, but to the boss it's obvious the coworker needs to send me tasks. The boss asks him now to send me the work. The problem is I can't continue like this. I can already tell this coworker is going to cause problems for me. They've already said the people they've hired before me didn't do their work and put a clause for non-performance. Good lord, this guy. Goodness, man. Another comment said, F that. I'd call them out and say, hey, I'm waiting on at this person to finish their side of it. They won't cut the fat if they don't know where it is. I agree. Like, literally, I agree. I would be like, hey, I haven't received anything from this guy. And I know you said to tell him, but I have still yet to receive anything. So can you please, like, is there any way to change this? Because it's ridiculous. It's at a job. How are you gonna withhold someone the stuff that they need to do? Okay, OP responded here in a little, I'll call it a wave of comments. I did just that. I've now CC'd the boss in the email. I've sent an email twice now. The coworker told the boss he would send me the files today. He still didn't. Exactly, like, dude, what? Come on. So the OP in the comments, the OP is saying, like what I just read, he CC, like, emailed the boss, yet he still hasn't received anything. Well, luckily, there's an update. Or maybe unluckily. We'll have to see. Update. Don't have an income now thanks to the coworker that didn't send me files. I left the company. Hi everyone. If you follow the previous posts I've made, I left that company. I was hired as a freelancer and I initially asked for upfront monthly retainer, but the business refused, saying they pay everyone only end of the month. Boss told me today I won't get paid end of the month because I didn't do the work, all due to the delays on the coworker's end. He didn't send me the files I needed to do, and when he eventually did, there were missing information from the work he has sent me. I asked that they compensate me for the time I spent on team communication and meetings attended, and boss agreed. So I left the company. I don't know how to feel. I'm a graphic designer and already struggle to get work. Now this. I depended on this work to be able to pay my rent end of month, as I didn't have any clients other than this one. That sucks. I don't even know what to say. Man, especially like as a like this person's clearly an artist. Nowadays, man, it is so hard to get into, like, I would say it's harder than ever to probably get into an industry like that. I don't know how it was, back then, before 2020, because 2020 was the turning point of all of this, in my opinion. That sucks, dude. How are you gonna do that to someone? Not give them the work that they need, then misinformation? What's wrong with you? Alright, let's read the comments on this one. First comment, and now you know to never take a job like that again. You need a defined pay structure. OP responded, yes, lesson learned. Unfortunately, a costly lesson. I'm here trying my best to get new clients quickly. Now since I've lost this month's income, I've daily checked in with the team, attended meetings, and all for nothing, I guess. Another comment here, I take both the ex-coworker and the company to small claims court. The coworker restricted your ability to earn by not giving the product in time. Your ex-employer used you and didn't compensate you for your time. That is so true. Another comment here, did you have a contract? OP responds, yes, I did. Ooh, see, look, if he takes him to court, whatever is said in that contract could be against him. So it will be very difficult. Very, very difficult. Well, I hope and pray that this person is able to get a job. If you're listening, God bless you, and I hope you're doing okay right now. On to the next story. Alright, this one comes from Coworker Stories. Coworker having an affair with his direct supervisor. I have to give a ton of context to make this make sense. Strap in. I started working at this company almost 3 years ago, and when I started, I met this guy, I'll call him Ted, who was about 40 and started 3 years before me. About 8 months after I started, Ted got promoted to a new role, and a new manager started that would be his direct supervisor. I'll call her Sue. Ted told us before Sue started that he and her had worked together at a prior job, where she was also his direct supervisor. Ted is married and Sue is not. Sue is publicly very single. Immediately when Sue starts, like first day, my coworkers and I notice something is up. Sue does not speak to anyone on the team except Ted. She goes to his desk and whispers to him her entire first day. We think maybe she's nervous and he's the only person she knows, so she's just sticking with him till she figures it out. But it's weird that she's hired as a manager and does not introduce herself to her team or make an effort to get to know anyone. Ted and Sue have spent the past 2 years inseparable. They take lunch together almost daily, in the office and out. Ted picks Sue up and takes her to work. Sometimes they leave within 5 minutes of each other, and then come back staggered as well. Coworkers have seen her get out of his car, and then he goes to the passenger side to wipe off the seats, presumably to get off any hair, etc., that his wife would notice. He spends a significant amount of time at her desk or taking secret meetings in our office conference room just with her. Their PTO days coincidentally line up. He follows Sue around like a puppy. Everyone here notices and talks about it. Now, we have big company Christmas parties yearly. At the past two, Ted and Sue see each other and do not speak. Ted brings his wife, who I had met and been friendly with before Sue started. I mentioned to my coworker how strange it is that Ted and Sue do not speak at the Christmas party. They inform me that the wife knows Sue from when Ted used to work with her, and it's known that the wife hates Sue because of something that went on at the previous workplace. Tomorrow, we will be having an after-hours event, and for the first time, Ted will be bringing his wife and Sue will not be attending. I know the wife will talk to me at this event because I'm one of few people that she knows. Should I try and hint to her that something is going on with her husband and Sue? TLDR, Coworker is having an affair with his manager. This is the second workplace where he's worked with this manager and had an affair. His wife is suspicious of his past conduct with this woman, but is seemingly unaware of what's going on this time. Should I tell her? Edit. Loving all these Ted apologists in the comments saying to get a life. Y'all must be big on work husband / wife culture. It's weird a work situation that has all of us wondering what we should say or do, if anything. I live somewhere very small, close-knit and isolated. It's actually a wonder Ted's wife hasn't seen him out with Sue yet. Just brought this to the appropriate sub to see what the consensus is in the outside world on this type of situation. Jeez, man. That's crazy, bro. I'll be honest. I wouldn't know what to do either. Genuinely. What do you do? If you say something, Ted's gonna hate you. Stuff is gonna happen. Who knows what's gonna be up? Because she's the manager. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I honestly don't know what to say. It's a sucky situation for not Ted, not Sue, for the wife. He said he has kids, right? No, it just says Ted is married. Man, I feel for the wife because clearly something, like he said, something happened beforehand at the previous job. And if it was Sue, just to think that the woman that your husband probably had eyes for, but you stopped and you're still with him, is there again in his job, that has to make you make her just feel like something is happening, but she just doesn't want to do it because she doesn't have the strength to say it. All right, let's get to the comments because I don't know what else to say. First comment. Ted's wife could probably use a friend. The next time you see her, genuinely ask her how she is. Talk to her about a craft you're working on, or make one up just to create a conversation. Chances are she could use some real conversation. It's lonely being the wife of a cheater. I think once you start to have a more solid relationship with Ted's wife, then maybe you can let her know about some of your concerns. But be a friend first. Take it from someone who's been there. OP responds, "This is great advice. Thank you." Honestly, yeah. That does sound like the best way to go about this. Yeah, it's so sad when you know that someone is cheating on their wife, but you just have no way to tell them, or you don't know how to. Especially if they have kids, dude. Oh man, that's the worst. Alright, second comment. I might naively ask in the group where Sue is tonight in front of her just to make it obvious she knows Sue works here and works on the team surrounding her husband. I wouldn't get too involved, but also F a man who openly is cheating on his spouse and humiliates her by bringing her to the office events when everyone knows. Cheating is bad enough, but making her look pitiable and dumb is unforgivable and doesn't deserve to be covered for. Yeah, that's so true. He's literally, he just doesn't care. He wants to show, or just wants her to find out to the point where he's all like, I want to divorce you. And he's all like, yep, moving on. Like, that's what it sounds like. What a gross person. OP responds, I agree, and was thinking this is the best way to just plant a seed and hint to her that Ted and Sue spend a lot of time together. I really don't want to get too involved, but I can't imagine being around my husband's coworkers and all of them knowing he's cheating on me and I have no idea. What they're doing is gross and wrong, and they think all of us as a department are too dumb to see what they're doing. It's ridiculous that they get away with it. A manager and subordinate, no less. There's a comment here. Maybe mind your business? And then 2 comments. Nice try, Ted. There is some mixed comments here. Some are saying, say something. Or some people are like, mind your business. It's not yours to do. It's just messy. It's a messy situation. Because no matter what you do, if you let Ted keep getting away with this, then the wife suffers. But if you say something to the wife will know, but the workplace will suffer because it's a manager and a subordinate. And that's going to suck really bad, especially when it comes back to you. Well, Ted, you are a terrible person. I hope you find God. I hope you find Jesus and genuinely repent and change for these actions because they are very disgusting. Sue, same thing, very disgusting. And the wife, I hope the wife's okay. That's so sad. God bless you. And next story.
This next one comes from Coworker Stories. The new hire, who took a promotion I was working towards, is asking me to hold her hand through tasks daily. I have been working at a company for 3 years. Recently, I took a move laterally in promise of a promotion. This move meant to temporarily take a pay cut, moving from a 10% second shift differential to no differential on first shift, and increased time/miles from my home. I know it was a risk to take, but in biotech, it can be very hard to be promoted right now due to industry struggles. Both my shift lead and my department manager agree that I deserve to be promoted and even have started to make communications with corporate about initiating it. A couple months after this conversation, a position opened up with the promotion title I was looking for. Instead of promoting me, they filled it with a new hire with very little industry experience, new out of college. When the new hire started, it was expected that I trained her on our processes, SOPs, etc. I was thrilled to get the opportunity to train since I have been developing that skill, but I was also very disappointed that I was looked over. This prompted a conversation with my lead and manager again, which they said they are still working on the promotion. The issue comes in where now, even almost a year into her employment, the new hire is still asking me to hold her hand through tasks, not just essays, but with her time management and knowledge of the science behind what she is doing, as well as teaching her how to communicate in a team environment. The specific job title she has is meant to be a higher subject matter expert than what I am currently at. I never minded training her on our practices, but I feel like I am being used behind the scenes by both the coworker and management, especially since management keeps pushing conversations of my promotion back, even though other departments are currently promoting their employees. This shows me that corporate is not holding back on promotions, but rather my managers are. I've had meetings since with my lead expressing my frustrations, but nothing is done. I express that I want to only be doing title appropriate tasks and that I am being asked to do work that is beyond my band level with no hope of a promotion in sight. My frustrations were heard, but no action has been taken. It honestly seems like every time my lead is supposed to have a meeting about my promotion, she ends up calling out. I know that the new hire has more experience in education than I do, but I believe that I should not be expected to hold her hand through her daily responsibilities. I am making moves to move companies, and I hope to never put myself in a situation like this ever again. Does anyone have any advice on how to resolve my current frustrations and stay at my current company? Or should I resign to find a company that is better suited for me? Oh wow. I have a friend who has this type of story. And let me tell you, it's all in the manager. It's the manager. He was told he was going to be a shift leader, right? And they made him a shift leader. But he literally had to fight for that $1.75 of pay. He had to fight for $1.70 extra for pay. I try to get into the head of these people who refuse to just be like, oh yeah, we'll hire you. No, like we'll promote you. Like, why? I don't get it. It's so easy, yet they make it seem so hard. So let's read some comments. First comment says, find another job first, then quit. You're never getting a promotion with your current company. Yep. Yeah, that sucks. Alright, the second comment said, start directing her towards your manager for help. Tell them you've helped her all you can, and clearly she needs additional support at this point. See, that's my thing. Did OP never just talk to the manager? That's so interesting. Like, I would immediately be like, hey, she's not doing anything. Like, she can't do basic tasks. Alright, I'll read this last comment. You need to leave. The message is clear. You are not being promoted, and you will never be promoted. Tough to hear, but knowing is always better. For whatever the reason, you are being led on. You are doing free labor for a job that should have been yours. Stop doing this. Stop helping the new hire. This is not your job. You're trained, and now every time they need help, direct them to their supervisor. Every time. You deserve a job and a company that respects you, your skills. That is kind of true. Like, why did you feel the need to help? I get if they ask, but it's like, after a point, I would be like, hey man, you can't keep asking me. Stop asking me. You have to do it yourself. It's strange, but... Well, thankfully we have an update. Let's get to that. The day after I posted this, my team lead took family medical leave for the next couple months. This leaves just the new girl and I to manage the workload as a team. I gave it a God-honest try to communicate with her to the best of my abilities and complete the work that needs to be done. Today, I got to my breaking point. She took a meeting with the higher up about priorities going forward. I was supposed to be in this meeting, but because I was overloaded with the time-sensitive essay, I couldn't go. I let the higher up and new girl know this. When the new girl came back into the lab, I asked her about what was discussed in the meeting. She said, oh, nothing. They just asked about who tests we have in lab. Honestly, we talked about less than what we do during daily tier meetings. Well, later in the day, the higher up pulled me aside to speak with me about what was discussed. Apparently, a lot of very important things were discussed, such as delegating responsibilities, taking ownership of software that will advance us in our career in the company, etc. The new girl volunteered herself for every single good opportunity, leaving me with taking ownership of basic lab maintenance. For example, taking out the trash, restocking, etc. It sucks that she did that to begin with. It sucks that the higher up allowed her to do that, and the fact that the new girl felt as if she had to lie about it makes it clear what her intentions were. It is clear that the new girl doesn't respect me and that the higher ups don't respect me. I'm on the verge of quitting. One thing I didn't mention in my original post is that my husband and I are business owners outside of our full-time jobs. I don't tell anyone at the company that I run my own business, and no one has any idea I live far away from the town I work in, so no one would have found out. My husband is very supportive of me staying at home and focusing on our business. I'm happy to know that is an option, but I really do like having something outside of home to do daily. I also like having my independence. So right now, I am applying to jobs and looking at my options. I know this isn't a resolution update, but so many kind people gave great advice. Some even asked for an update. Thank you all for the response. I really appreciate it. Talk about corrupt? I don't know what's the word to use here. What an evil person to be like, oh yeah, I'll do it. So what's gonna happen when the person that's helping you leaves? You gonna do all that? Is that what's gonna happen? Because they're gonna see you can't do anything. I'm talking about the new hire, by the way, not the OP. Like, they're gonna see you can't do anything, and they're not gonna let that slide and be like, hey, what's going on? Unfortunately, this sucks. Like, this happens. Bad people get good stuff while the good people get struggle. As a Christian, that resonates a lot with me, because that's like, it's kind of like the life of a Christian. You struggle, but at the end, right at the end of the tunnel, there's always good. There's gonna be something good. There's something good at the end. For me, believing in Jesus, I know that I'm struggling right now. I can't find a job at the moment. It's so hard to find a job. Even though I'm struggling, I'm not gonna give up on him. You go through all these struggles and you just want to give up a lot. A lot of the time, you just want to give up. I have given up sometimes, but it's important to remember that at the end, when you triumph, there's always gonna be good at the end. And this person, I always say this, if you're listening to this happens to be your story, find a new job. You're gonna have better opportunities. It does suck that they do clearly, obviously, like you say, they clearly don't appreciate you and don't respect you. There's gonna be a new place where they're gonna see you and see, oh, this person is doing great. Or you could find a completely better job, or your business could pop off. You never know. Never know. I hope this person gets a better job, and I hope their business pops off.
All right, that was the last story. If you finish your snacks, I hope you enjoyed them, and I hope you got some sort of relaxation listening to these stories. Again, if you enjoy this content, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It really does go a long way to support my channel. And even if you made it to the end, thank you. I really appreciate it. I love doing these type of videos, and I'm going to continue doing so. Well, other than that, I'm going to let you be on your way. Have a good day.